Hi, I'm Johanna Hattendorf, owner of the Spiral Path in Topsfield, Massachusetts, and I provide trauma-informed bodywork and energy healing. I'm also a survivor of childhood abuse and trauma. I've spent a lot of my adult life healing my own trauma, learning about trauma, and providing a bridge, helping people just like you move from surviving to thriving so you can live a fuller, richer, deeper, happier life. Because of my knowledge about trauma and my understanding of it from my own life experience, Katie asked me to share with you some information about trauma and more specifically how it affects us in our bodies. I'm going to try not to make this too boring. In this video, I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to talk with you about trauma, what it is, and why our bodies respond the way that they do. And in the second video, I'm going to share with you some simple strategies for helping your body move out of whatever your own trauma patterns are. So just to get us started, I'm going to invite you to experience what I'll be talking about. So just right where you are, you don't need to get cozy, you don't need to get comfy, just close your eyes. And think about something that's just ordinary stressful, not traumatic. It's better if you don't choose a traumatic memory, just choose an ordinary stressful memory. Now, as you think about your stressor, pay attention to what happens in your body. Specifically, notice your airway and your breath. Notice your heart rate. Tune into your belly, your gut. What's happening with your stomach? Notice your muscles. Just notice. You're not trying to change any of it. Just notice. Breath, heart rate, belly, muscles. Now let that go. Just imagine it disappearing into the clouds. And imagine something peaceful and calm. Go to your happy place. Maybe the beach, the woods, an imaginary cabin, someplace that you're familiar and comfortable. Again, notice your body. Tune in. What's happening? Notice your airway. Notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Thinking about this peaceful place, how's your belly and your gut? How about your muscles? Again, just notice. Think about a beautiful, happy, serene, calm place and notice how that feels in your body. Again, let that go. Just let it float off into the clouds. And bring your attention back to the room where you are. Open your eyes. Now look around you. Maybe look out a window if you have a window to look out. Let your eyes drift. Actually turn your head so that you're looking in all directions. And out loud to yourself, name five things that you see. Looking out my window, I see a pine tree. Around my window, I have a paper chain. I've got a TV over to my right. I've got a toy castle to my left, and I've got a clock. So out loud, name to yourself 5 things that you see. And once you've done that, touch 5 things. I've got a crystal, I've got a picture, I've got a pen, I've got a different set of glasses, I've got my phone, but that's 5. 4 things that you have. Touch 4 things. And now name 3 sounds that you hear. So I hear my air conditioner running. If I really key into my body, I can hear myself swallowing in my throat. I can hear the vibration and rattle of the window. Now, if you have something, maybe you can notice that you smell something. I don't smell anything. So maybe you don't smell anything. I don't have any flowers or essential oils or anything here. So I'm not smelling anything, but that's all right. And now if you have a beverage or a snack or something that's handy, you can take a sip. And lastly, move around a little bit. Move your muscles. You can shake your hands, shake your head. Now feel your body again. What do you notice? How's your airway, your breath, your belly, your muscles? Okay, so what you just experienced is a body-based approach to understanding how trauma affects us and how we can effectively learn how to help our own bodies shift from surviving to thriving. You experienced distress and you noticed how that felt in your body. You replaced that with an experience of calm and noticed how that felt in your body. And then you experienced the present moment and how that felt. So now that you're in the present moment, we can talk about trauma. What is trauma? The basic, most simplest explanation that I've ever heard that I love is that trauma is too much, too fast, or goes on for too long of a time. Anything can be traumatic because it isn't about the story or the narrative or an event. It's how our bodies respond to that. So it's about whatever you experience that is too much, too fast, or goes on for too long a period of time. And it affects the body and overwhelms the nervous system. And it's not about what we think about the event. It's not what we even feel emotionally about an event. It's how our bodies respond that makes it traumatic. Now, anything can be traumatic if the body and the brain perceive it to be life-threatening, life-altering, life-diminishing, or life-deadening. There's a part of our brain, okay, this is the part that's going to get technical, just a heads up. I'll try and keep it simple. There's a part of our brain that is totally responsible for keeping us alive. It only cares about survival. Sometimes that part of our brain is called the primitive brain or the reptilian brain, but that part of our brain just doesn't care about the emotions of what's happening. And it doesn't care how we think about what is happening. That part of our brain is focused completely on keeping us alive in the moment. That's survival. Creates a whole cascade of reactions in the body that you've all heard about a million times. It's called the fight, flight, freeze response. So we've heard about it. We tend to just sort of, I'm in fight, flight, freeze, or oh my gosh, that was so traumatic. But really, it's very real that our body responds to the primitive brain that says, oh my God, we're gonna die. And what it does is the fight, flight, freeze response can take several different forms. First of all, it can rev you up. It's like pressing on the accelerator of a car, right? And everything in your body and your nervous system gets revved up. So it's hard to breathe. The breath comes way up in the top of the lungs. The heart starts to pound and race. The muscles tighten. There's a way in which we can't even think straight because the part of our brain that's responsible for thinking is offline. It's not any part of this survival mechanism. So we might do things that are irrational, We might behave with anger or frustration. And everything about digestion turns off. So we might have a dry mouth or feel like we can't swallow, or we have a pit in our stomach, or like we have to go to the bathroom. So all of that is revved up. It's the fight and the flight piece of the trauma response. The other piece is the frozen. Freezing feels a little bit different in the body. In the freeze state, there is an absolute shutdown of all movement. The heartbeat slows down a little bit. There's this way in which our muscles freeze up. Freezing feels like you don't want to do anything, you don't want to eat, you only want to sleep, you feel dead or numb. So those are a cascade of body responses that happen because of a traumatic event that is perceived as being life-threatening or life-altering. This is different from stress. Stress is also felt in the body, and stress is also felt in many of these same ways. That's why when you felt a stressful event in your body in the opening exercise, you felt that in your throat, in your breathing, in your heart rate, in your muscles. But the difference is, after a stressor, your body goes back to whatever your normal state is. So a stressor comes along, you have a big, oh my God, we're gonna die. Oh no, we're not. It was just not a big deal. And the body resets. But with trauma, a stressor comes along that really is life-threatening, and then it gets stuck. So stress, we all have ups and downs in our life. We all have stressors, and then we kind of have a way of maintaining our normal state of being. But trauma gets locked in, and it gets locked in either in rev up or freeze. So the thing that makes trauma different from stress is that we don't reset after trauma. That's the thing. It's overwhelming. It overwhelms our capacity to cope. It overwhelms our resilience. It overwhelms our internal and external resources. And then we are stuck. It's sort of like a fire alarm that goes off even when the fire is put out. And so you're trying to live with a constant state of noise. Or maybe you've plugged too many appliances into your outlets and the circuit breaker trips, but now the wires have all fused together and you can't switch the power back on again. That's the way that trauma gets held in the body. Now, the good news about all of this is our bodies are designed to reset. We do have a built-in parachute that can return us to a place of calm. You experience that in the opening meditation, where you experienced a stressor in your body, then you thought of something peaceful and experienced your body returning to a place of calm. You then opened your eyes and began to use your body to be in the present moment. So being able to work with the body to find calm allows us to find greater capacity to process whatever trauma has happened, to shift from the past and its pain into the present, and then to move forward with hope and joy. So if you take nothing away from this whole video, I hope that you remember this: trauma is too much, too fast, or for too long of a period of time. It overwhelms the nervous system. It's stuck in the body, and it's possible to reset. In the next video, I'm going to be talking with you and sharing some ways that you can learn how to reset your body. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.